It has been announced that up to 5,900 new homes may need to be built in South Oxfordshire by 2031. This will be in addition to the 11,487 homes which have already been allocated. To find out how this additional distribution of homes came about, we sat down with Councillor Angie Patterson, Cabinet Member for Planning at South Oxfordshire District Council. South Oxfordshire has already had to find space for 11,487 new homes. How did this additional figure of between 3,900 to 5,900 homes come about?
Well, we spent a lot of time and worked very hard to get our core strategy together to plan for the 11,487 new homes that had been identified from 2006 to 2027, and then the government changed the way in which housing need is assessed. It was originally from the South East Plan, that was abolished. We needed to have some new evidence studies. Oxfordshire is identified as a strategic housing market area, so there has been an Oxfordshire-wide strategic housing market assessment which has produced this new figure. Questions are being asked about it, but as it stands, it is an evidence study that we're required to take notice of. And it will take us through to 2031, so needs an extension to our current local plan.
Why are so many homes needed in South Oxfordshire? Why can't they go elsewhere? Aren't we in danger of losing a lot of our countryside and green belt to new developments?
Well, there is an objectively assessed need, which, as I said earlier, is there are some questions about the level of that need, but we need to be able to keep the housing market fresh. We need to have opportunities for younger people, for growing families. We need to be able to support our businesses. And it's not necessarily the case that new homes mean we lose valued countryside. We need to look carefully at the areas where the homes are going. We know where growth is already planned for, so we will look at sharing the load around. Equally, there may be some communities who actually want to take some more development to support an infrastructure project or a particular need that's identified.
What guarantees can you give about the transport infrastructure and other facilities such as schools and shops that are required to support an increase in population?
There is an infrastructure delivery plan, but a lot of this is not within the control of the District Council. We have to work with other authorities such as the County Council, Thames Water, the Health Service, the Clinical Commissioning Group, but they would all be at the table in an infrastructure delivery plan for a new development to ensure that all these things were taken into account to create a good environment.
A number of South Oxfordshire communities now have neighbourhood plans. What does this additional distribution of housing mean for them?
My strong advice to any community who's got a plan or is indeed working on a plan is to keep going. Communities may want to think about what if and identify the next sites that they would develop. Having a plan in place, as we have well found out with our core strategy, is far better than not having a plan in place, because you have got the needs of the community, the views of the residents identified and tested, and this is really important and puts the community in a much stronger position than if it has done nothing.
With house building in many areas slower than anticipated, will South Oxfordshire be able to achieve the objectively assessed housing figure of between 14,500 and 16,500 new homes by 2031?
That's a very fair question. Of course, as the local planning authority, we have a duty to plan, and we will do our best to plan so that we are plan-led and not driven by whim. To a large extent, we are dependent on developers coming forward and building these homes, and they in turn are dependent on the housing market. We can do our best to ensure that necessary housing comes forward. Our best is as much as we can do.